How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Colin O'Hara. If you haven't been on the channel before, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the reason that I do this and all the positive feedback that I've been getting. I'm going to keep doing these videos. I'd like to say happy St. Patrick's Day. This might not be when the video comes out, but this is when I'm recording it on St. Patrick's Day. If you can't tell by my name, I'm Irish. So this is a pretty special day for my family. So today, we're going to be talking about Toyota, and specifically the Supra, and we're going to be answering the question, does Toyota not want people to modify the new A90 Supra? So lately on my Facebook page, I've been posting a lot about Toyota. And I don't know if this is because of the new Supra or just because I'm a Toyota fanboy or whatnot, but 2 weeks ago, I posted an article by Drive Tribe. The article was titled, "You can already buy a 2JZ conversion kit for the new Toyota Supra." And on the status, I said, ignorantly, "Ooh, Toyota, I bet this stings." And a friend immediately got on right after I posted it and corrected me and said, doubtful. They told people that if they were going to put a JZ in the new Supra to just buy the 4-cylinder. And it turns out, after doing some research, that I was wrong. And based off of a lot of my friends' opinion, a lot of people that I've been talking to's opinions, I'm here to clear this up for you. The article is about a Chicago-based company called CX Racing that created a conversion kit for the new Toyota Supra. And this is basic supply and demand. The new Toyota Supra came out, and a lot of enthusiasts and purists wanted to swap a 2J into it. So a company came out and made that. A week ago, a professional drifter from Japan named Igo Saito posted a photo on Instagram of his 2J swapped A90 Supra. I don't believe he used the CX kit because he's got a team of fabricators that build everything for him, and he's got virtually unlimited money to do whatever he wants with. He drifts a Lamborghini and an M3 and a bunch of other cars. He's worldwide known. So if you don't know who he is, you're living under a rock. And if you don't know what a 2J is, this is what a 2J is. He posted this video, or he posted this photo, and then shortly after he posted the video of the car running and driving. And he got a shell or a prototype or something. He got his hands on the A90 Supra really quick. I don't know how he did it. I couldn't really find anything online about how he did it. As a backstory, we have to go back, and I'm not talking go back to the beginning of this year whenever Supra introduced the A90, or when Toyota. I'm not talking go back to beginning of this year when Toyota introduced the A90 Supra. I'm talking a couple of years ago. So 2 years ago in 2017, Toyota had been struggling with sales. Their sales had practically tanked, and they couldn't figure out why. And so, if a lot of you remember, in 2017, Car Throttle came out with an article that pissed a lot of people off. And the article was titled, "Here's Why Toyota is Taking Their Production Cars Out of Video Games." So a couple years ago when they were coming out with the new Forza, and they were coming out with Need for Speed Payback, Toyota announced that they would not be putting their cars in the new games. And a lot of people were misled, like I was. I didn't do my research like I was supposed to, and I believe this was because Toyota didn't want people modifying their cars, and a lot of people believe that. But in the article, it states that an executive speaker for Toyota corrected people and said, "Realistic video games make cars unnecessary. Home game machines are no good. Playing something that realistic makes the need for cars disappear." And this is my opinion, I'll say that now. But in my opinion, this couldn't be any further from the truth. I know for myself and a lot of other car enthusiasts, growing up playing these games is what turned us onto these tuner cars, and what made them want these cars in real life. Like, I want a 1J swapped Cressida, or not 1J swapped, I want a 1J Cressida, or, you know, I want a SC300 with the 2J in it and all this other, like, because I played those games. That's why I want those things. So moving on from this, we're going to go back to this idea later on. So after the Detroit debut and the release of the 2020 Supra, and they released the specs and everything, a lot of people were pissed off, to say the least. They posted on social media, and they got really nothing but negative comments from car enthusiasts saying things like, oh, this is just a BMW Z4. You've seen a million of those comments. We don't want a BMW. We want a Toyota Supra. How could you only make it 20 more horsepower? This and that. Toyota misunderstood what these people wanted. They didn't want, you know, they wanted a performance car that had more horsepower. Like the competitors, if you look at new NSXs, they make a lot more horsepower than the original. If you look at new GTRs, they make a lot more horsepower than the original, and all these things. These enthusiasts that are going to be buying these cars want these cars to be beefier, better versions of the last ones, but they also want them, they're purists, and they want them to be pure Toyota cars. And so Toyota kind of missed an opportunity when they did that and let BMW design everything, and people were really nasty and hated that, to say the least. So according to Auto News, the new Supra comes out in two separate models. So the first model is a 3-liter 6-cylinder
turbo, you fuck! Yeah!
And then they also came out with a 4-cylinder model for it.
Today, Junior,
prices are really not much different than the original Supra. So according to Auto News, you can get the new 6-cylinder Supra for $56,000. The 4-cylinder you can get for $50,000. So a lot cheaper than the original, and they did this for a reason, not just economy, but leading into what we were talking about earlier, they also did this because they knew that purists were going to want to swap a 2J into their cars. They didn't just go out and say this, say, oh, like swap 2J in your car, but according to an article by The Drive, they spoke with Super Chief Engineer Tatsuya Tada, and he said, kind of low-key, if you're going to swap in the JZ, said, quote, please buy the 4-cylinder, it will be cheaper. So they made a model of the Supra where purists can go in and just swap the 2J into their car. They didn't come out with a conversion kit or anything. Someone did that for them, but they said, you can still do this. So they knew that people were going to want to buy the car and put a 2J in it. They knew they missed out on some. What I'm saying is they missed out on some areas where they could have succeeded better, as in like creating more power and all this other thing. And I think they focused on upgrading the technology instead of, you know, the performance aspect, which is what I would imagine people would be buying it for in the first place. It's the performance aspect. But they also made it to where enthusiasts can modify these cars. Now, obviously, there's not a whole lot of aftermarket for them yet. But what I'm saying, to answer the question, does Toyota not want people modifying the new Toyota Supra? And the answer to that question is no. And if I would have done my research, I would have known this. What I'm saying is, what people tell you, take it with a grain of rice. Don't believe everything everybody tells you. Toyota's not a bad guy. Toyota's not a bad car company. They make awesome cars. And despite what a lot of people are saying about the new Toyota Supra, I'm super excited for it. I think a $50,000 price tag, you know, with depreciation coming in a few years, like that's a realistic car that you can buy. And going back, like if you think about inflation and everything, it costs pretty much the same as the original Mark IV Supra costs now, being $50,000, but back then, $50,000 in today's money would be more around $80,000. So it's actually cheaper than the original, makes more power, has better handling technology, better suspension geometry, a bunch of other things. I won't go into all that tech stuff because no one wants to listen to that. Donate on Toyota because Toyota's just doing their thing as a car company and they're trying to please us as much as they can. I wish they would listen to us a little bit more on the enthusiast side, but hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching and tuning back in if you did. Thank you for watching if you're new to the channel. I'm going to keep putting out videos like this every week if I can throughout everything and keep coming up with good content for you guys. So I really, really appreciate it and look forward to a lot of really great content coming up. Thanks, guys. Peace.